One thing I decided, there'll be no individual names on anybody talking. I think that's a reflection of how our team was. We really worked on team points. That was always our stress. We did not worry about records. We did not worry about this and that. We worried about team points. And our theory was that if the team wins the title, everybody's a champion. And I know that, take it or leave it, that's the way we did it. This has been fun getting this done. I can't believe the great email comments that we've gotten, how much it's meant to a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of comments about lessons they learned in track and field that now they're using in life. Discipline, dedication, setting goals, those kinds of things. Those are warming to a coach. Sometimes we wonder if we're really making a difference. And when I read those comments, it's obvious it did. The pride is very evident in those. I think we were very proud of what we did. And we should have been. The first thing I want to talk about before we get too far is, I'll back up too. I'll do that one. We probably never really celebrated like we should have. If you get into business, one thing you learn is celebrate your successes. And we probably didn't. But part of that was we expected to win. We always won. Yeah. And we just didn't get real excited. I mean, it's just we knew we were going to win. So one thing I'll stress right away, though, I view this as a culmination of about a 10-year or 12-year window. In 1979, Glenwood got their track program re-upped. It had been an awful week. Jim was a senior in 78, in fact. They finished below fourth place in the conference meet, bottom half, every year. They never got higher than that. So they never won Ram relays. And they obviously never won state. When your class, the 1990 class, got done, we'd run 9 straight Ram relays, 8 straight conference meets, 2 straight state meets, and 79 individual titles, invitational titles. That's quite an accomplishment. Individuals, when it started in 79, there hadn't been a Glenwood kid place at state meet, maybe ever. I never did find out, but definitely not for at least 10 years. And nobody ever placed at Drake. There wasn't even anybody qualifying for those things. By the time this 12-year swing got done, there had been 15 Drake placers, 49 state placers, and 11 state champs. So it's not just these 2 classes or 4 classes that we're celebrating tonight. You guys had the luxury of a lot of good kids going through ahead of you. We had some Drake champs, some state record holders right down the line. You had some great people ahead of you that built the tradition and got it going for you, but then you guys culminated it and took it over to that next stage. We really concentrated on the conference, which might sound kind of silly nowadays. Glenwood ought to win the conference in a lot of things. They're second biggest school, thanks to the Hughes boys, etc. Got houses everywhere nowadays. But anyway, when back in '79, we were the smallest school, ourselves and Shenandoah. And this is an amazing fact. In 1973, when I first came to Glenwood, Glenwood and Corning were identical sized schools. And Corning had got out of the conference because they knew their elementary classes were going to make them shrink. There isn't even a Corning school left anymore. And here's Glenwood, pretty good sized school. Glenwood is now the second biggest school in the conference. Lots of 2A schools in the conference now. It's just changed a lot. But back to the conference focus. The reason we really concentrate on conference. In 1973, they won the state baseball, or the conference baseball championship. That was the only boys conference championship Glenwood ever had. And then it rolled up through the 70s, and there was a wrestling one in there. And then when we got into the 80s, wrestling would win it once in a while, and they always had 2 chances. They had a dual championship and individual championship. Cross country was winning them fairly regularly. and then track took off. So that's why we made such a big deal out of the conference meeting. It was a big deal. Our conference was extremely good. If you placed in our conference meet, you were probably, or won in our conference meet, you were probably going to win a place at state. Our conference was the best 3A conference in the state. You know, that's one away. It's hard to find 3A schools in Southwest Iowa. Corinda, Shan, Red Oak, Atlantic, all dropping down to 2A. But in your day and time, it was a real honor to be a conference champion. It was very, very hard. I view things as not only were things being done right, there was also a lot of luck. In '79, when we first got started, one of our very best runners on the team was a foreign exchange kid. He was a stud. I just stayed out of his way and he yelled run. But you know, kind of like last year, Glenwood got an awful good girl in here. And they won the state championship with her 4 titles. Well, I had that kind of kid running, and our program had been so weak before. And then we had a boy that won the state shot or discus that year. So, had a lot of luck that first year, but it kind of got people thinking, well, maybe Glenwood can be a track town, which now it's very proud of its track heritage. Back then, there just wasn't a tradition. So, a lot of luck went along with it. I'm going to mention Coach Whitcomb right now. When I started coaching, Coach Whitcomb was a freshman. And we got a special relationship, he and I. He ran cross country for me all 4 years. I wasn't track coach. But every year, we got better and better and better. We got second at conference and did well, did very well. It's all because of how hard Jim worked and the example he set. He was homecoming king.
Hey.
Well, the truth was he couldn't get anybody a woman to dance with him otherwise, so the queen had to dance with him that one dance. But no, Jim really was a key figure in building the cross-country teams. He came back and, from college. I told some of you earlier about his college story. Jim came up to me his senior year. He says, "Man, Coach, I'd really like this track and running. I'd like to run in college." Okay, now that's okay. I said, "Where do you think about going?" "Well, I've been thinking about Nebraska, Drake, UNO. I said, "I got it. You better go to UNO." That was actually UNI. I goofed up it. UNI. I said, "You better go to UNI." He said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "As small as your chest is, you can't get more than 3 letters on it." No, Jim came back from UNI. I think he was an assistant 1 year or something like that. Coaching track, the way we did it in those days with not all the computer stuff, etc., is a massive, massive job. Every meet there has to be an entry form sent in so you do the heats and lanes. You got to talk to the newspapers. You got to send stuff into the state. You got to arrange transportation. You got to arrange hotels when you go to get wine. There's lots of stuff besides coaching. And I was trying to do it all there for a long time. I had a whole string of assistants. I had Lou Walker, Bob Dyer, Todd Rocker. I don't know who else came through there. And then Jim started helping. And I said, "Okay, let's divvy up these duties next year. You be the head coach. I'll take the assistant pay. But that way we can do equal duties. When you're the head coach and somebody's getting paid less than you do, it's hard to expect them to do as much as you do." So Jim and I kind of hit it together. And then he brought Mr. Jones on to work with him. And that's kind of how it got going. But it means, if you notice, we did a good job of delegating jobs. Jim took care of getting all the time, splits, writing up the results, all that stuff. Inventory of sweats, everything. And I was able to really be free to coach. And I was able to work with the shot and the disc and the high jump and make the lineups, make the workouts. It really worked. We had a great relationship. And I really appreciate that. I was lucky to have him. The next thing I had written down is I want you to recognize, and we can be cocky, we were anyway, it would never stop us, but we weren't just good, we were the best. And if you think of you guys that played football, think how you pictured Harlan. You know, Harlan's going to win, nothing we can do to make a difference. And it was there. You can't deny it wasn't there. And that's what it was with us in track. Other schools really knew there was no chance in hell of them beating us. It just wasn't going to happen. And we'd get off the bus. Our first announcement was, well, Glenwood's here. Who's running for second place? And there's Corning. We ran at Corning clear back in '82. They had a brand new, nice rubber track. Wow. We go over there, and we just pounded everybody. You know, we always had 2 people every event. And Corning AD comes over to me towards the end of the meet. He says, Coach, he says, I know you got a contract for another year or 2, but could we have you not coming back? These other schools are all threatening about not coming back here this year. Their kids aren't getting any medals. You know, that happened. Same thing at Creston. They tried really hard to get us out of their meet. They were a conference school. It was harder for them. But, you know, they couldn't get those schools from the east and the north to come if we were there. And that's just what we were running into. I remember once they got the rubber tracks, and they weren't going to have districts, we had to run on rubber tracks. So, man, I was looking for a meet. I call up, and I get a hold of the guy up at Greenfield, Nottoway Valley, they call it now. But anyway, Greenfield schools, they had a nice rubber track. They had a good, solid AD that I kind of halfway knew. I said, hey, how about us coming up to your track meet? He said, oh, yeah, we got room. We'd love to have you guys. Let me talk to the coach first. Calls me back about a half hour later. He says, sorry, Coach. He said, no, nobody will come here if you guys are here. So that's the kind of respect you had. I don't know if you realize you had that much respect, but it was there. The things that were said to the coaches and I after meets, very, very, what word do I want to use? Respectful. People were very respectful of us. I always laugh about our victory laps. I got a lot of secrets I never shared with you guys. Victory laps were classic. Why did they run victory laps after the meet? I had, who wrote in this week, told me he couldn't come, but talked about the victory laps. Victory mile. Stone or whoever it was, somebody couldn't come. Chris Mayberry, that's who it was. There's some name, I wasn't going to say names. Chris Mayberry emails me this week, he goes, man, I remember those laps because you tell us the teams that aren't here are home working out and they're going to get ahead of us. That wasn't the reason we did it. We did it so we won by 20 or 30 points. You'd go out and get them, or the other teams would go out and get on the bus, ready to go home, get the heck out of there. And they'd look out the window, and there'd be Glenwood, running and running and running. And so it's a little hard to convince yourself that, well, they beat us by 20 tonight, but we'll get them by the end of the year. When they look out the window, we're still there. Push-ups, I've fooled you on push-ups all the time too. Why would you push-ups start every practice? Because I like to kill you? Well, a little bit. Real reason is you come out of school where you jacked around all day, and so we got you and we turned you into, whoa, it's time to go to work. And we were, very military type atmosphere, but it made you get down, buckle down, and work really hard. And I don't think anybody will debate how hard we worked. Things like at track meets, the old fat coach would be up in the bleachers, he'd bell hurdles, and all of our athletes would run out and start putting the hurdles in place, picking up the hurdles. Other teams couldn't figure that out. Why were the Glenwood kids out there helping with hurdles? Well, we wanted to speed the meet up because we got all sorts of depth, and we'll pound you in the next event. We'll got a newcomer. I think the other thing that I know will work for us, think about our constant focus. We never talked about the Lewis Central invite or the Red Oak invite. We always talked about conference and state. That was always there in our conversation. That's what we were always looking at. And I think that's part of our success. I'll get pretty lost in what I want to say. I do have down then and now. How are things different now? Oh, you know, that culmination of 12-year thing. And then 91, I helped some, and I know we won that year. Then I got away. I was gone. I went to play principal and superintendent. And a year or two later, they lost one, and then kind of went like this for a while. Actually dropped clear down to last place in the conference one year. So that was sad to see. But now they've been really good again. And why is that? Partly because how big they are. Partly because there's great tradition. A lot of you guys that had kids put a good emphasis on track. The girls' program's taken off. That's what's amazing. Back when I was coaching, the girls didn't have practice on Wednesday night, if you ever noticed. Because the coach was in the golf league out at the country club. So the girls didn't have practice. That's a true story. Scoring, you know, in our day, state meet, it was 7 for first, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relays 10, 8, 6, 4. Now everything scored the same. Individuals, relays, all scored the same. And they score 8 places almost everywhere you go nowadays. The state meet's a 3-day meet. Think how nice that'd been. We ran on that day and a half meet. We'd jam that whole meet in there and it'd be real hot. We had a lot of instances where somebody ran one race and man, it's tough to get recovered. Now, they spread it out over 3 days. A lot of difference. And a lot of the meets at night, according to which class you're in, some of the meets at night. Another thing is, now you can run 4 events. If you think real hard sitting in here, there's probably a few athletes I could have found another event for if they'd had eligible for 4 instead of 3. So, there's a lot of differences. But a few years ago, they had that real good team here, and they ended up winning state. It was a good team. I'm not debating that. But they really wanted to say they were the best team ever at Glenwood. And somebody said to me, well, is this the best team ever? Could you guys have beat these guys? I said, yeah, I think we would have. We found some way to.
Hey.
They don't realize we're coming at you twice in every single event. We're coming with you at the relay. We were so far ahead by the time we did the hurdles, the shot disc. What's the other field event?
Long jump.
We had a couple high jumpers too. None of them here tonight. I think we won the conference high jump. I think we won the. Glenwood was known for shot and disc. We had people coming in from all over to get help on shot disc, buying videos, etc. I'll tell you what, I think we won the shot put or high jump 8 straight years, I think, at conference meeting. So we had a few people get up over the crossbar too. And that comes back to our coaching arrangement. I was able to work with those field events and not be compromised by 9 million other things. Coach Whitcomb, Coach Jones they do the running events. What word do I want to use? Facilitate the running event. And I was able to go over and work on the field events. We divvied up jobs very well. I could also yell nice things at the people that weren't working hard enough from the side. That's about all I got, really, other than I really do want to thank everybody. I got just as many, if not more, good memories out of this than you guys did. I got the same pride that you guys did. I could go on in life and know that I'd accomplished something. And it was a tough time for me. I had a daughter that had tanked down on me and had some things going on, and it was a tough time. It gave me something to focus on. So it was just as good for me as it was for you. And I know I'm skipping something real important there. We talked about field events. It was something funny too. I thought it was funny.
It's a fat man hurdle relay.
Yeah, a few of those. All right. So now you're going to be bored by the other speakers. I know this was the highlight of the night. Oh, I do. I better thank people. Thank Cars first for the facility. We had a planning committee. Coach Whitcomb and I kind of sat on the side. And Mark Hughes, Craig Mitchell, and Sam Carr. They did a great job. Sam did about 6 people's work, I'll guarantee you. So they really put a good effort in.
Every time.
He never did anything in track when he was there, so he might as well put it in. And I would tell you this, we did get it all funded. We got some from the banks, and many sent in a little bit of money here and there. I don't feel good that some gave lots, and I wish everybody would have gave $5 or so and we'd been fine. So if you do want to, I got an envelope here somewhere that I'll keep with me if you want to give a little bit to help this, and I can back those people off that offered so much, because I don't like that feeling that some gave so much and some did not. So somewhere I've got an envelope, I'll have it with me. I would appreciate that. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Whitcomb. And I'll think of what I was going to say in a minute.